Hi, this is Desperado Sensei with FOFA News. So I wanted to share something with you. I've been living in Japan now for 14 years. 14. It's hard to believe even for me. My goal originally back in 2011 was to come to Japan, get some international experience, come back to the US and find a job. So seems simple enough, but I got a Japanese girlfriend in 2012 and we were married in 2014. Now I have a mortgage, 2 kids, a stable income, and a loving family. Material conditions changed, but one thing didn't for me. I became a lot more politically active after moving to Japan. I broke my kneecap back in early 2012 and needed a lot of healthcare for it. I was still in my American healthcare system mindset, so initially after the nasty spill, I thought, it's not broken yet. I'm fine. I'll just tough out the pain.
Just a flesh wound.
That was until I got an x-ray after turning pale white halfway through work, and my right leg was swelling to the point that my right pant leg looked like I was wearing leggings. I never once thought I would be okay. I constantly thought, how will I pay for this? Will I get deported if the price is too high and I can't pay? And I can't take time off weekly to go to the doctor. How will I drive there? Needless to say, my support system was great, and after 3 months of care, x-rays, 3 casts, and a specialized brace, I only ended up paying around $800 USD for all that care out of pocket, which was strange because I thought it was going to be a lot more. Later in 2018, I contracted a version of Asian strep and was hospitalized for a whole week. Not only did my work contract have legally mandated hospitalization leave, after 7 days bedridden before release, the total only came out to $1,200 out of pocket. So when people in my life make grandiose arguments about how American healthcare is expensive because of the quality, you can understand why I gave them an earful and was dumbfounded by the statement. I pay around 25,000 yen a month, or just under $200 for healthcare insurance through the National Healthcare Program. There are no long waiting lists or subnominal care. I showed up at the local dentist one evening without an appointment and was seen in less than 15 minutes. No extra charges, and a bill for $13 at the end for a cavity and a filling. I think the longest I've ever waited was 90 minutes, but it was around 4 p.m. with my kids at the ENT with a full waiting room. So you can see my surprise when people who have never lived here, experienced the healthcare here, or have seen facilities here try to tell me how my care is substandard in the US. And I began to dig more into hot button issues within politics and realize people are just repeating the talking points on TV with their small, insulated communities, while also being affirmed by other people with the same talking points in small, insulated communities. Mark Twain was 100% correct that travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness, and many of our people need it sorely on these accounts. Broad, wholesome, charitable views of men and things cannot be acquired by vegetating in one corner of the earth all one's lifetime. Pick a hot button issue, it applies. The people who are talking about the crime rate in Chicago are people who have never been there, live there, or know anything about the people or the material conditions there. The people talking about America being the home of freedom can't tell you where the US limits it, and other countries allow more of it. Or things like, we can't do single-payer healthcare, just look at the UK, not realizing that the UK has single-provider healthcare, that there's a difference, and the only thing that they can tell you is that is big S socialism. My political journey, because I lived here in rural Japan for so long, has opened my eyes to how political discussions should be done. When the Conservative Party here, known as the Liberal Democratic Party, LDP, or Jiminto, in 2018 decided that free childcare for public nursery schools for children over 3 was necessary, I began to question what conservative meant. I mean, you couldn't get a majority of Democrats to agree to public nursery schools, let alone a free after 3 campaign. I began looking at UK politics, as they also have a parliamentary system, and their conservatives were pushing for policies actively thwarted by the Democrats in the US. And the more I looked, the angrier I got. Even in Japanese geography textbooks, the US is taught as having 2 conservative parties. I'm no one's leftist. I'm no liberal either, and I am sure as shit not a conservative. These have no meaning in the US anymore, other than monikers to denote which flag you carry.
Are you the Judean People's Front?
F*** off.
What?
Judean People's Front. Well, the People's Front of Judea.
Like the North and the South are still at war with each other. Being pro Second Amendment makes you an all-right GOP conservative. Likewise, advocating for free school lunch makes you a Marxist Democrat. There is no balance. There is no right or wrong. There is no common sense. Just rhetoric approved by your echo chamber that rewards cognitive dissonance and lambasts critical thinking. Back in the US, I'm an expat. I don't know what it's like. I've been away too long. I don't have any insight into the conditions within the United States. But those excuses sound like an outside perspective from somebody who was an insider will hurt the feelings of my echo chamber. And you know what? That's the truth. So family no longer asks how much my wife's appendectomy procedure and hospital stay costs. That would go against their echo chamber narrative. They no longer ask how much my kids cost under my healthcare insurance. Why? Because it's free. And even paying out of pocket for elective dental treatment for my children doesn't break the bank. They instead make declarative statements that they heard from people about Japan, only to have it refuted as not true. And this is the problem. Nobody cares about the truth anymore. The media pundits tell you constantly that you know your truth. It's the dumbest thing people can say to me on a regular basis. Your truth, my truth, their truth, that's not the truth, that's opinion. Truth is based on fact, and facts are facts regardless of belief or ideology. This is why I plan to stay right where I am, in my little hometown in rural Japan. Sure, outside my city of 12,000 people, I may be viewed as just another tourist. But inside my community, I'm a member. I belong. My opinion matters. And people care to hear it because I've put in the time. And as sad as it sounds, the longer I spend outside the US, the more I feel disconnected from the US as a citizen. This has come to a head recently in talks with extended family about naturalizing. 5 years ago, this would have never even been considered. I would have laughed in your face. But now, I don't know. Do I still belong? Do I have a side or want a side in this political slap fight? Would coming back require me to choose a side? All of these things run through my head when I think about my future specifically. Can I naturalize? Sure. 14 years, clean record, married 11 years with children, I'm a shoo-in. But I really have to take a good look at what I will lose. This decision becomes increasingly harder in our current times. With current events. Is it worth it? I don't know. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Thanks.
Hi there, this is Desperado Sensei with FOFA News. We'd just like to remind you to like and subscribe for our content, and also follow us on Substack. Every now and then we write pieces that don't necessarily turn out to be videos, so check us out when you get a chance. Thank you. Bye.